For €66,000, from €66,000 I should say, you can get a gaff on wheels, which is what the Volkswagen California is. So you've got three trims: Ocean Beach, Ocean California and Ocean Edition. And forgive me if you see me swaying my arms at any point in the video today, because there are midges absolutely everywhere, the type that actually leave blood on your hand when they get stuck into you. So we're going to have a little look around this California today. I've actually slept in it, brought the family away in it, went to Rosslare, and it does everything you need it to do. And actually in some ways I find the California, not the Grand California, a little bit easier to live with, because there's kind of more usable space for day-to-day living, and it's a lot more mobile. You can get it into car parks, you can park it at the side of the road. It doesn't get as much attention. So let's find out if this could be the future of your mobile holidays for the next little while. And hit subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. So as I've kind of just hinted at, one of the best things about the California is the kind of discretion that it allows you. You know, at the front of this could just be a transporter van, really. Apart from the little red strip down the side, you wouldn't necessarily know. You've got lovely bright LED lights, and there's nothing else. There's no California badge in the front. It just kind of keeps itself to itself. Now there's a couple of things that can change that image of the vehicle pretty quickly. One is the roof. So inside you have an electric opening roof that just pops up and turns this into a 4-bed vehicle. Now it can be a little bit noisy, but you know, for what it does and how quickly it does it, it's not a huge amount to complain about. And normally where you'd have to pay a substantial extra for a room with a view in a hotel, wherever you're parked up, this whole canopy opens and you have a view of wherever you are. That's incredible. And you've got to factor that in when you think about how long you'll have this vehicle for and the price of it, because seriously, a room with a view of a sea or a lake or a forest, wherever you are, always costs extra. You can sleep 2 adults up here or 2 kids, and there's a good bit of space actually if you put your feet down the back end of the vehicle. You've got charging for devices and interior lights. It gets very cozy at night time. I slept up here with a bit of rain, so the outside does get damp. It didn't necessarily come through the vehicle, but I'm just wondering, could you, like, obviously the roof of the vehicle is up here. It's more the sides that suffer from a little bit of rain, depending on how heavy it is. But it was quite heavy at the time. Anyway, back to the rest of the vehicle. I'm trying to get changed here. So some other things I like about the California: you've got a really durable, wipeable floor. You can clean that very, very quickly. You have your 2-ring gas here. You've got a sink, also with hot and cold water. You can use electricity to charge this, or you can use diesel. There is extra storage back here for shelves, cutlery, the bits you need. Then under here, there's also extra storage down here for you to keep belongings. So there's quite a lot of practical stuff going on. It's also very easy to adjust the bed. So this is your extra set of seats for your rear passengers, but it also very easily turns into a bed at the touch of a lever. And you can actually lie stretched out in a comfortable position. Again, in the Grand California, you're sleeping sideways. Depending how tall you are, you're kind of restricted by the side of the van, whereas this one you can just stretch your legs out and you're not as restricted. Loads of lovely lights. You've got, you know, a nice ambient vibe at night time. The canopy has its own light as well. It's, you know, you turn these captain's chairs around and it just gets very, very cozy, and you can have amazing nights on beaches and light a campfire beside it, not too close to the vehicle of course, and have a really great memorable time. As you see, when I was camping, I had loads of bits here laid out, stuff for breakfast. there's plenty of usable space, and you can open the rear glass sides of the van. You can bring down nets, such as here, for privacy, and you can apply all kind of netting to keep the flies I've been mentioning out, who want to take chunks out of your arm. That clever stuff, I suppose, that comes with a factory fitted vehicle continues at the rear of the California and in the Grand California as well. So this is quite heavy. There's a little bit of electrical assistance with it, but it's still on struts. So it's a good shelter for starters if you were standing under here in the Irish summers. This is part of the mattress of the vehicle, so that just lays over the top of the seats. Actually really, really comfortable. There's great thickness in that. And then things like your deck chairs are just neatly tucked away here in the vehicle. So it's kind of clever use of things being kept nice and snug. Same with here, so you have a little shower head that you can use just connected up to the water tank here to wash feet. If you've been on the beach, you could probably have a little shower with it. I mean, like, you'd look a bit strange just standing at the back of the vehicle, but it's not impossible. So it doesn't have a toilet, but it technically has a shower. And then you've got space under here as well. So if you've got extra blankets and food and all the things that you want to keep with you, you can use it in there. Also inside is a fridge, so any perishables you can use in the fridge and keep your drinks cool and all those kind of things. So a lot of clever use of space, a lot of clever use of just mod cons to keep you on the road. And essentially, while you can also power this vehicle up with electricity, you can go off the beaten track for a little bit as well. And you've got a pulley here just to help with the weight of it, because it is bloody heavy. And you're closed up and away in seconds. For your on-site charging, if you're at a campsite, power just clips in here and your water tank can be filled on this, but you can also only open it with a key, so no one can interfere with that. No one can put anything into your water tank that shouldn't be there. That's all self-contained and locked away. It's very simple to put away a canopy as well. Just one thing to be very careful of: don't extend the roof of it out more than a metre until you have these leg supports. When you're up front, it kind of drives like a van. It's a little bit clunkier in how it moves because of the weight of it, but it's all made a bit easier because you've got CarPlay, you've got Android, you can charge devices, you've got USBs up here and 12-volt charging. Really easy to do things like pull open the blinds that hook in to little areas here. They're essentially blackout blinds. And they do a really great job. Same here, you've got little kind of covers with magnets on the side, so they hook onto the metal around the door frame, and they keep you privacy covered, and also kind of act as blackouts. Plenty of storage in the bins. Just an automatic gearbox, climate control, very easy to use, comfortable seats. Your captain's armrests here on both sides of the driver and passenger seat. And really, it's just, you kind of hit the open road, set your cruise control, and you move between the next campsite or beach or camping spot and the next. So the things I love about the California is how mobile it is, how it kind of blends in. Obviously with the roof up, not necessarily the case. It's not bad on diesel. The more you put into it, obviously it's going to be heavier. You're going to see maybe 14 litres per 100 kilometres. So depending on, if it's just two of you, it'll get you potentially up to 900 kilometers. So you can go the distance in it. I like the way it can fit in to places too. It's a little bit rattly inside, depending on what you have. You might want to make your own little Velcro, little attachments to certain things to stop them rattling around when you're on the move. Particularly if you're on bumpier surfaces, it can get a little bit rattly. But I just love, the extra space here. It's a pity that it doesn't give you extra standing heights when that is up, or if you could push it up out of the way, that would be cool. Give you a bit more daytime space for standing up in the vehicle. That would be a nice feature if you could do that. I think you're either a camping person or you're not, and if you are, there's so much stuff in this vehicle that will let you go to beaches, go to Achill and Donegal and West Cork and places that are just stunning to holiday in. And then you have the flexibility of, certainly over time, depending on how long you keep the vehicle for, of not paying for hotels. A week or even 2 weeks in some of the best hotels in Ireland, in those parts of the West, are going to cost you. And you've got to build that into the price of the vehicle if you keep this for over 20 years' time. The other great thing about the Californias is that they really hold on to their value. You look at a used one of these and you'll see the price versus what a new one costs. And yeah, it's not the same, but they do hold on to their value very, very well. So you could kind of look at it as maybe a 50% investment, depending on how long you keep it for. So I hope you enjoyed a little tour today. A great time in Rosslare. The weather wasn't as good as it is today, but still had a good time. And I think, you know, if you can get on with one of these vehicles well in a country like Ireland, then that just says an awful lot about it in terms of how much fun it can be on your holidays. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Nobby on Cars, the Volkswagen California, and I'll talk to you on the next one.